In this video, we want to determine the exact value of each of the following. So we've got, for part A, we want to find the exact value of sine of 150 degrees. So if we want to find the exact value for a question like this, the first thing that you'd want to do is draw a unit circle. Now I've gone ahead and already drawn these, but if you didn't have them in front of you, you'd want to draw them for each of these questions. The next thing you want to do is you want to locate the angle in the unit circle. So 150 degrees is going to be 150 degrees from the positive x-axis. So that's going to be 90 and that's going to be 180. So 150 is 30 degrees back from 180. So that means our angle would look something like that in the unit circle. So this is the point where we're at on the unit circle. And we want the sine of that value. So just to recap, that angle is going to be the 150 degrees. And sine of 150 degrees is going to be read off the y-axis. So it's going to be this value here. Now this is where having a diagram drawn roughly to scale is going to come in handy, because sine of 150 degrees actually takes us to the smallest known exact value for sine. It's going to be, this would be sort of the 30 degrees, 45 and 60 degrees back from 180. So we're the smallest angle back from 180 to be at 150. We're 30 degrees back. And that gives us a positive sine value. And its value is equal to root 1 on 2. And it's positive. So this is just equal to 1/2. So now we're going to do the same thing for part B. But this time we're going to look at cosine of 120 degrees. So we've got our unit circle. And the next thing is to find 120 degrees. Which is 60 degrees back from the 180 degree line. So this would have an angle that looks something like this. So that's where we're located in our unit circle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to think cosine is read off the x-axis. So that's the value there that we're looking for. So this is 120 degrees is our angle. And we're looking for the cosine of that value, which means we're looking at the x-axis. And now this, if we think that's 30 degrees back, 45 degrees back, and 60 degrees back, that gives us the smallest cosine value, which is also root 1 on 2. So remember those patterns of root 1 on 2, root 2 on 2, root 3 on 2. This is going to also give us root 1 on 2. But the trick here is we're on the negative side of the x-axis. So the answer is actually going to be negative root 1 on 2, which is just negative 1/2. For part C, we're going to do all the same things. So we're going to draw our unit circle, and then we're going to locate where 330 degrees is. So keeping in mind that 360 degrees would be a complete revolution, and we're 30 degrees off that. So if we go back by 30 degrees, we'd have an angle that looks something like this. So that's where we'd be on our unit circle. And this angle, starting at the positive x-axis and going around to there, that would be 330 degrees. Now what we want to do is we want to think about, we're asked for the exact value of sine, so that means that we're reading it off the y-axis. And again, we're only that 30 degrees back. So this is 30 degrees in here. So that's telling us that we're actually going to have the smallest y value. We would have the largest x value there, but this is the smallest y value in terms of that root 1 on 2, root 2 on 2, root 3 on 2 pattern. But because we're reading it off the y-axis, this is going to be a negative value, so we can say that this is equal to negative, and the pattern goes root 1 on 2, root 2 on 2, root 3 on 2, so we're also, for this example, root 1 on 2, which is 1/2. So our overall answer is negative 1/2 is the exact value for sine of 330. For part D, we have cos of 300. So similar to this question and all the others that we've done, we're going to start with our unit circle and then we're going to find this angle. So 300 degrees is 60 degrees back from 360. So that would put us in about this position here. So this angle created with the positive x-axis is going to be 300 degrees this time, which means if we annotate on, this would be 60 degrees around to here. And now when we want the cosine, we're actually reading it off the x-axis. So if we go up towards the x-axis, this is the point here that we're interested in. And again, because we're at the biggest angle away, that actually gives us the smallest x value. So 30 back, 45 back, 60 back actually makes this x value as small as possible for the three angles that we know of anyway. Looking at the x-axis, it's going to be a positive value. And this value is root 1 on 2 again. So root 1 on 2 simplifies to just being 1/2. So that's the exact value for cos of 300. I hope this video's helped. Stay around, we've got more videos going over similar problems to these. So if you need more help, check those out.